everyone, and welcome to the 64th episode of the TheCoasterCasters podcast. Actually, TheCoasterCasters travel now. And for our third episode of The Road to Pandora. With me today is a very, very small panel, just myself, and our guest today, Laramie Williams from Fresh Baked and Stuff. How's it going?
Hello, it's going well. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming on. I saw your I've been watching Fresh Baked for about, I would say, 6 to 8 months now. And whenever I saw your video with the trackers, right whenever Pandora started doing soft openings, it was the night after I did my my interview with Banks. I'm like, I wonder. And I pondered it for about 2 days. And I'm like, should I try? And then I reached out to you, and we started talking about it, and yeah. So I just want to thank you for coming on.
Well, my pleasure. Yeah, no, I'm happy to do it. I love talking Disney.
Awesome. So today is going to be about Pandora World of Avatar, which really used to be a touchy subject until about 2 months ago, when they started just showing us so much about the newest land of Disney's Animal Kingdom. When was your first experience with Pandora?
So I was there for the cast member sneak peek.
Ah.
Yes.
So was everything like working as much as it's doing now, or was there stuff that still wasn't ready yet?
I don't know what's going on now, to be honest. I haven't been back since then. I was thinking about heading over today to see if maybe I can get in, just in case. But because I am an annual pass holder as well. And yeah, the only thing they were having problems with was Flight of Passage.
Yeah.
They worked out whatever kink was going on, and then we were able to ride it that afternoon.
All right, so whenever you walked into Pandora for the first time, what was your first impression?
Oh my gosh!
I'm pretty sure that was exactly Banks's first impression too.
Yeah,
that's what everyone's impression's been.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's amazing. It's just to see the work that all the Imagineers did is mind-blowing. And you immediately go from, wow, I can't believe they did this, to, oh my God, who did this? I'm actually on a planet. Like you completely forget that someone created it, and I fully bought into where I was.
And getting off of the Pandora subject for just a second, because I want to get your quick thought about something in California.
Sure.
With Joe Rohde's amazing expertise, do you think he put all of his eggs into Pandora after what we've heard with Guardians of the Galaxy?
What do you mean, all of his eggs?
Like, all of his, like, I don't know how to, like, not all of his effort, because obviously he put effort into Guardians of the Galaxy, but, like, obviously from what we've heard, it's apples and oranges to Pandora, and Pandora is way better.
Well, I mean, to me, you can't compare the two.
Yeah.
At all, because you're comparing a ride to an entire land.
Yeah.
With 2 rides in it. So I don't think it's really fair to compare the two, saying one is better than the other. It's kind of like saying, well, which is better, It's a Small World or Tomorrowland? I mean, it's, you know what I mean? It's just, it's so hard. You can't do something like that. And I haven't been on Guardians yet or seen any ride video or any of that. So I definitely wouldn't want to give my opinion on it. But I mean, I was mad when they took out Tower.
So was I.
Because, yeah, I mean, a lot of people were, just because, you grow attached to certain things, and as pass holders tend to be, they don't usually like change on something they truly love or think shouldn't be changed. But I'm completely willing to give it a shot. Now I'm more and more excited, especially after Guardians 2. I am very excited to see how the ride turns out, because I think they're doing these things in little steps because there's a grander plan.
Yeah.
You know, seeing where the Guardians franchise goes, as you know, we know a lot of it where it's going to go, just more and more movies and things, and then seeing where Pandora goes. People are saying, oh, why would Disney build Pandora now? I mean, the movie's 10 years old. It's like, well, no, you got to look at what's coming. They have a huge plan for years now for more and more content, and I think the land where the land of Avatar is just completely going to explode and change and gain popularity. And then where Guardians of the Galaxy is, that's going to blow up as well, because they're going to be changing that land as the newer movies come out.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I know someone who I guess they've been doing like super, super soft openings of that, like only letting a certain amount of people in on Guardians. Apparently there's a Rocket Raccoon animatronic that is on par to the Shaman of Songs.
Huh.
Which is very interesting. I don't know if he was saying that and telling me just to shut me up, because I've been asking him for weeks about information about Guardians, but apparently there's a Rocket animatronic that is super on par.
Cool. Well,
And back to what you were saying about Pandora, I don't know if you saw this, but James Cameron said that there will be things inside World of Avatar that you will see in future movies.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
There's already plenty. I mean, you can just walk around the land and see things like it. I'm sure you've seen my coverage of Pandora.
Yes.
But there's things all over, like downed helicopters now covered with vines and things from the great conflict that happened. So I mean, as you know, the world of Avatar takes place so many years in the future that, that doesn't surprise me that you said that at all. Of course.
I'm very excited to go. I get to go in October. That's why I'm doing this whole series, so I can at least stay a little hyped up about it.
Yeah.
Whenever you saw the floating mountains of Moara for the first time, what were your first thoughts?
Well, my first thought was, don't trip over your chin, you idiot. You're holding a camera. Because my mouth was dropped open. I mean, it was amazing. And I'm one of the types of people that I don't critique all the, this looks like an archway. You know, that you'll hear people say, oh, but they're not really floating, it's an archway. Well, dude, it's because they're not real floating mountains. I mean, come on, you got to suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Exactly.
So I mean, I fully appreciated everything, and I was just blown away by the beauty of it. And like Tim and Jen said, like we forgot we were even in Animal Kingdom, because we were 100% in Pandora. And when we came walking out of Pandora, when we left for the day, we were like, holy cow, yeah, we're at Animal Kingdom, huh? I forgot. Back to reality. You know, it was crazy. It's so well done. You really feel like you're on a different planet, which is exactly what Disney's good at.
Whenever I always go to Animal Kingdom, like whenever it first opens, people always go to Expedition Everest, or they go to the Back to Do Kilimanjaro safaris. I personally think that you will be able to walk on to both of those attractions now for at least the first year of Pandora, because everyone's going to want to go there, and they're going to take everybody there, which is good, because they spent a lot of money on this, and I want to ride Expedition Everest 15 times in a row.
Yeah, I can handle 6. That's the most I've done. Then I got a little woozy, and I'm like, oh, okay, I think I'm done.
I love Expedition Everest.
I do too. It's
out of all of the roller coasters that I've ridden on Disney property, Disneyland and Disney World, it's the best. It's the best out of all of them.
Well, you know I like my puns, right?
Yes.
Well, you know why Expedition Everest doesn't have shoulder harnesses, don't you?
Why?
Because it would chafe your Nepals.
Oh my goodness. That's a good one.
You're welcome.
That's a good one.
Use that as often as you like, and step back so people don't hit you. But
all right. So moving on to
look at that. He's like, quickly moving on, please.
quick move on from that pun.
I
No,
can't
I'm just joking.
believe
That was a really good pun, and I'm gonna definitely tell my sister that one later.
Thank you. Made that up. I'm proud of that one.
But let's talk about merchandise.
Sure.
And I know whenever you get out of Flight of Passage, that's when you go into Wind Traders.
Right.
This is something I never asked. Whenever you leave River Journey, do you go into Wind Traders as well, or do you just exit into the land?
You don't. No. Yeah. You just exit to the land.
Okay, that's what I thought. Wow, that's the first Disney ride that I've ever seen that's never exited into a gift shop.
Right.
But what did you think of the merchandise whenever you went in? Like, were you looking for anything specific to showcase?
No. I didn't. I hadn't heard of much, and as we speak, I'm watching my video doing a recap of this stuff. I'm not a big merchandise guy. Like, my fans typically get upset because they're like, do more merchandise bids. And I'm like, I don't like shopping because I'm a guy. I don't like shopping.
Yeah.
But I did appreciate the merch that was in there. Oh yeah, this was cool. So there's like a floating mountain mug that was.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. For $22, it looks like. So that was a lot of fun. That was cool.
If you compare that floating mountain mug to like a Starbucks You're Here mug or whatever they're called, you get more with the floating mountain mug. Just saying.
Yeah.
It looks bigger, so you probably do get more.
Right. Yeah, it looks cool. And then other stuff in there, I mean, there's just fun little stuff like from their. I don't want to call them plushies because there's a lot of like rubber toys based on the animals and things like that, and those are all cool and unique. Yeah, just I mean, it seemed like there was something for everyone. Like if you're a fan of the movie and you just want a little trinket, you can find something, or if you want to spend a little bit more and get a nice model of something for $125, you can do that too.
Huh. It's very cool. I saw that they have from the first movie. I don't know if you've seen it. You probably have, but they have that little floating unobtainium thing. I kind of want to get it for my desk. It looks so cool.
Yeah, that does look cool. That's I saw that somewhere in my video here towards the end. But yeah, that looked cool. There's an egg which looks really cool, or a vein pod, not an egg. It's a one of the plants that I call them little like Smurf eggs, or Jen called it that really. But yeah, they've got all sorts of really cool stuff like that. You know, desk decorators and things. A lava lamp that's really just it's glowing algae from Pandora. You know, all sorts.
Yeah. Whenever my sister found out that they were making a world based off of Avatar, she's like, why don't they just make a land based off of Fern Gully? Like, that's exactly what it's going to be. No, I sent her Tim and Jen's video. I sent her some of your videos and some of Attraction videos. And I said, this is not Fern Gully.
No,
this is nowhere close, because that was my family's joke for the entirety of like the movie being popular. It was a glorified adult version of Fern Gully.
My joke, Dances with Wolves, is what I compared it to.
Yeah. That was one that my dad said too.
But I mean, one can argue. I don't understand the people that hated the movie. I mean, there's going to be people that hate any great movie out there. You know, Casablanca to Wizard of Oz, you name it. I'm sure there's people that hate it. But like, yeah, the people that don't like the land because they didn't like the movie is a little weird to me. I don't get that. Like, how can you not like mountains and cool plants and stuff like that because you didn't like a movie? I mean, it's still you can't deny that it's beautiful.
I very much enjoy. I have the movie in my PS4 right now, and I've been watching it like constantly every night.
I think it's great.
I fall asleep at the same part, and it makes me mad every time because I want to keep watching it.
The 3D technology, when that came out, is the first time like subconsciously, I'm sitting there watching the movie, and when the mother tree is burning and all the ash is falling down around you, I'm like swatting at like flies in front of my face. You know, I'm moving my hand trying to get the ash out of my face so I can see the movie. Like I was that into the movie and just did it completely subconsciously. I was like, oh my gosh, I just swapped it 3D, 3D ash. Way to go. But it was, I mean, it was impressive. That's why it's like the world's #1 movie of all time, because it was crazy.
All right, moving on to what did you think of whenever you first saw those Banshee puppets?
Okay, so I'm a big con goer, you know, like Comic Con and
Yeah.
you know, Starfest. I come from Denver, so Starfest is a big con where we're from. Denver Comic Con, things like that. So I've seen those shoulder banshees for years, except they were dragons.
Yeah.
I've seen them at Renaissance festivals, um, yeah, all over the place like that. So they didn't blow me away because I'm like, oh, I've seen those. But I think they're cool just because they're banshees, and I think they're going to do very well in selling them because kids are going to want them. And I've already seen some. I've been walking around Magic Kingdom, and I'm seeing people wearing the banshees. So they're selling, and I don't see anything wrong with them. You know, to each their own.
I don't either. I personally like at the price point that Banks told me, I think that he said it was like $55.
Yeah,
That's a very affordable, to an extent, an affordable souvenir. Like if you tell your child they can only get one thing, that's something that like that's not battery operated, so it's not going to. I'm pretty sure it's not battery operated. They're going to be able, like, there's going to be no like acid erosion from the batteries at all, and
right.
like that's something that they can keep forever.
Plus, it'd be fun to buy one just to mess with the TSA guys for the.
Oh, I know.
They'll be like, looks like there's a dragon in your bag. Can we open this?
No, I would walk through security with it on my shoulder.
Yeah, that'd be fun too. You'd get randomly selected. You know this, right?
I know, straight up. But moving on to the create your own Navi figure. Now, Banks and I talked about this, how it's not literally your face. They scan your face and you can take different features from it. So whenever you saw, I don't know if you saw like it going on in action, because I don't know if it actually was working when you saw it. But what do you think about the idea of the create your own Navi figure?
Sure, go for it. It's unique. I would say, yeah, why not? And same thing I don't think $75 is outrageous to do that.
It really isn't, because I think a couple of years ago when they were doing the Star Wars Weekends Detect Me's, those were pretty expensive.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I mean, and what kid isn't going to want to say, "Hey, this is my avatar. This is modeled after me. They scan my face." You know, they're going to love it. And there's plenty of adults that'll love it too. So I think it'll do very well.
Mike, I was, whenever I was thinking a couple months ago, I was like, what kind of merchandise can they have in Pandora? I'm like, obviously they're probably going to make the tails, which we'll talk about in a second. And just like, I'm blown away by what they created. I don't know who created it. I don't know if this was merchandising or Joe Rohde saying, "Hey guys, we need to make this, make it happen." But whoever came up with those shoulder banshees and the create your own Navi figure and the build your own necklace, I saw those. That it's remarkable what Disney can come up with. They came up with the build your own C3POs now. I don't know if you saw those.
Yeah, I have. And it was funny to me because when I came walking off Flight of Passage and got dumped into the gift shop, I was like, it was kind of weird because I was like, oh yeah, there's a gift shop. Like I was so into the moment of, hey, I'm in Pandora, that I forgot, oh yeah, I'm at Disney and they're going to want to sell me stuff.
Yeah.
So it kind of took me aback when I saw everything.
Back to that whole thing saying, oh, Disney trying to sell me things. The thing that I think is really cool about this land is the fact that the manhole covers don't have Mickey ears on them. They
Mm-hmm.
have that Ace logo now. The cast members don't have Disney World name tags. They have Ace name tags, and then for the touch points, for the Magic Band touch points,
Yep.
they have the Ace logo. There is no I don't think that there's any physical representation of the Walt Disney Company inside of Pandora. Besides the whole talking about the My Disney experience with the mobile ordering.
Sure.
Besides that, I don't think there's anything else.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to go relook at it again, but I had heard that, I'd heard, well, there's no hidden Mickeys and all these different things. I saw that with the touch points. So it'd be interesting to go and try and find the one that's there. Because I mean, I don't know that I fully believe it. I think buried deep within the Flight of Passage, there's one, or maybe on one of the Instagrams, I think someone said they thought they saw one. The Instagram ones. So I don't know. It's fun to explore and to see if we can find it.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I know. The first day that I go down in October, I told my mom, like, Mom, you're dropping me off. Disney's Animal Kingdom. I'm going to stay there all day until Horror Nights time. I might even skip Horror Nights that night because I want to be able to see Pandora at night. But I'm going to look everywhere for a hidden Mickey.
Yeah.
I am going. I know Joe Rohde needed to put a hidden Mickey in there for some sort of OCD that he has. Because that man cannot make a ride without putting a hidden Mickey.
Well, it's fun. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. It's a very fun thing for people to do. Like, let's just say it's such a busy day and you're not writing anything. You walk around and you're just like chilling and all that stuff. You're looking for hidden Mickeys. Like I know I do. I know whenever I went to Disney World last June, it was super busy. We looked for Pascal's.
Yeah.
In Fantasyland.
How many did you find?
2.
Oh, I'm up to 4.
You're up to 4?
Yeah.
You might have to show me where 2 more are because I cannot find them anywhere. They're super hidden.
Yeah, they're all pretty much over there by the charging area.
Yeah.
Oh, which 2 did you see?
The one in the river.
Right.
I can't remember where the other one was.
Because there's 2 in the river.
There's 2 in the river?
Yeah, you just got to go to opposite sides.
Then it might have been the other one in the river.
Right on. And then, well, right there by the river, there's one on the rocks.
Okay.
And lean against a rail and look straight down. There's one right there.
Huh.
The rail on the exit of Memento Mori. So if you're on that side of it by Columbia Harbor House and you look down, you can see a couple. And then you look up and you can see one underneath the windowsill, which is attached to the back side of Memento Mori. So you can look up and he's chilling underneath the windowsill.
That's interesting. By the way, Memento Mori is the best gift shop ever.
Oh, come on. It's amazing.
I love it. Like I probably will love Wind Traders, but I love Memento Mori. Oh my gosh. They have this Hatbox Ghost print that I want to buy so bad.
Yep.
Moving on to some, like, I guess, atmospherical things in Pandora with the animal sounds that change during the day and the night with the predators coming out at night. What do you think about that? Like, whenever you first heard that happens?
Awesome. I mean, great. That's really cool. In fact, I managed to stay just right at dusk, and I got to hear some of the animals starting to come out, and there's some that sound like the T-Rex footsteps in Jurassic Park.
Really?
You can hear them walking through the bushes, and actually kind of creepy. You're like, holy crap.
I might. I don't
Yeah.
know. Disney needs to not try and breed dinosaurs.
Right. No, I know, but it was still really fun because I mean, they exist.
Yeah.
Those creatures exist on Pandora, so they wanted to add that realism to it, and I thought it was awesome.
Now, something that I've been very skeptical about, and Banks kind of helped me get over that hump, the Wilderness Explorers there.
Mm-hmm.
At first, I was like, why do we have Wilderness Explorers in Pandora? And then he explained to me that they're there for the people that are part of the expeditions to explain plant life and I guess animal life in Pandora compared to Earth. So I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, what do you think about the Wilderness Explorers making their Pandorian debut?
Pandora has a lot of wilderness, and it needs exploring. So I think it's fine. In fact, when I saw it, I was like, oh, cool. That's the wilderness thing. I couldn't remember the name of it, but I was like, oh, yeah, the wilderness thing. Awesome. And then I just moved on. Like, because they got to have fun stuff for kids. And you're still at Disney. And if you're going to be so, and I don't mean you personally,
Yeah.
but I mean, if people are going to be so uptight where they're like, oh, well, I don't think this should be here because it's not completely immersive if it's not here. I mean, it's like, come on, man. You're still at Disney. Just relax. Let some things go that you don't really need to get yourself tied up in a knot over. So, but something like that, I don't even think that's that bad. I'm like,
Yeah.
sure, let the kiddos have their fun and explore the parks because there's going to come a day when Pandora is, well, maybe anyway, when Pandora is not going to be what Frozen Ever After is now still. Yeah. And there, 20 years from now, there's going to be people that, it's just going to be a land like any other, maybe, depending how popular those movies are. But, you're going to get to the point where you're going to feel like, okay, cool, I'm still at Animal Kingdom. That's what I think.
Yeah. For me, it's like, it's good for those kids that can't ride Flight of Passage because
yeah,
I think the height restriction is, or the height requirement is like 48 or 52, something like that.
I can tell you actually in just a second here.
But I know that River Journey does not have a height requirement or restriction at all.
Right.
Which I think is great because Banks and I think his daughter got to ride, which is good.
See if I can find the height restrictions.
It might be on Disney's website. Let me see. I like how we're trying to both find this.
Right. Who's going to do it quicker? I will say, by the way, do you know how Hidden Mickey's got started?
No, I actually don't.
Ooh. So, you've been to Casey's Corner, yes?
Yes.
Okay. So, there's a wall of photographs there.
Okay.
And all the photos are of baseball teams.
Mm-hmm.
And as Walt did, Roy, before Walt Disney World opened, he would walk through the park to just check on everything and make sure it was all up to par. And what the Imagineers did is they took a picture of themselves and posted it on that wall. And I'm not going to tell you what it looks like. You're just going to have to go take a look and see. But they took a picture of themselves to see if Roy would notice it, and he never did. And when you look at all the pictures, they definitely stand out because they are not a baseball team.
Yeah.
So because of that started the Hidden Mickeys, the idea of hiding something. So.
And yeah. I found it on Disney's website. It's 44 inches.
44, yep. 112 centimeters, it's saying.
Yep. which that's like a 3 to 5 year old, depending on how tall you are,
Yeah.
won't be able to ride that. And Wilderness Explorers is definitely like centered towards them. I know whenever I go in December, I'm probably going to do Wilderness Explorers and Pandora because I've done everything else that Animal Kingdom has to offer. I'm an annual pass holder, so I've been multiple times.
Yep.
Yeah. So moving on from the other atmospherical things, I don't even know if atmospherical is a word. Let's talk about the food, because I know that's the part that I'm very, very excited for, especially with all the videos that Tim's been putting out about those cheeseburger bayo buns.
He's obsessed. The man has a problem. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Okay, so my mom and I watch their videos all the time, and whenever they try the cheeseburger egg rolls, we were like, "Oh, that's cool." And then he said that they got rid of them. Whenever Tim said that he found a, I guess, suitable replacement for the cheeseburger egg rolls with the cheeseburger pods, my mom's like, "They're gonna take them away in 6 months."
Yeah, probably.
But what did you think of Satuli Canteen?
So I'm going to talk about my number one favorite thing there.
Okay.
The water. I'm not messing around. So I'm a water snob. I hate Florida water with a passion. Everyone talks about it. We all know it's gross.
Yes.
When you can find the restaurants that have triple filtered water,
ooh,
that's what you want. Most of the stuff at Epcot has it. You know, all of Disney's signature dining is you're gonna have the triple filtered water.
Yeah.
For a fast casual and or quick service location to have triple filtered water coming out of their little tap, just their soda counter, is amazing to me. And they had it. So I was blown away just by that. So I'll just put that out there first. I was and Tim and Jen were laughing at me. I was like, "No, you guys don't understand. I'm a water snob, and to have this at quick service is amazing."
Yeah.
So
yeah. So whenever you go to Pandora, get the water.
Yeah, exactly. So the water on Pandora is fantastic.
Well, you know that if it wasn't for that thing at the beginning of, or that entrance, the big thing that Jen called, I don't know what she called it. If it wasn't for that and the spores and all of that, we would have to wear gas masks going into Pandora.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. But
just little fun facts make me laugh.
No, as far as the rest of the food goes, though, I wasn't blown away to the extent that I can't wait to go back and try everything again.
Oh, wow.
I consider myself a foodie, but there is a lot of stuff I don't like. Like when you saw in my video, I didn't get all the dry coleslaw that's on there.
Yeah.
Tim said was fantastic. You know, he really liked that, as did Jen, I think. But I'm just, I didn't want to try it. So I just pretty much only got the chicken and rice by itself with the yogurt boba balls on there and the sauces. I got one of each sauce so I could try them all. And it was good. The quality of the chicken was fantastic. I'll say that much. The grilled chicken was really good. I tried the cheeseburger bao. I tried the whatchamacallit, Jen's. She got the beef bowl.
Mm-hmm.
And the cheeseburger was good. I don't like, mustard and pickles and stuff on my burgers.
I don't like pickles on my burger either. That's my worry.
Yeah, well, you're gonna taste the pickle and the mustard and everything. You taste it all. And when people compare it to a McDonald's cheeseburger, they're not far off. And I hate to do that to Disney because I know the quality is so much higher than a McDonald's cheeseburger, but that is the flavor it's reminiscent of. With all the toppings on there. So, but it was still good. It was very doughy. So I wasn't a big fan of that either. So it's just not all when I've got something like Flame Tree Barbecue over there staring me down, I'm gonna go over there rather than journey over to Pandora to get the food,
Wow. From like what I've seen, and I know that videos don't do things justice because obviously I watched videos of Harry Potter before I went to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and I was just blown away. And I was blown away in the videos, and I was even more blown away. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing Pandora. But the food to me, it looked good. Like it looked physically good, but I don't think with the menu, I don't think that there's a suitable menu for that being the only quick service in that land, or actually the only food option in that land. What if everything else was super busy except Pandora? Then you are forced to eat a cheeseburger bayo bun, or you're forced to eat a satuli bowl, or whatever they're called. Because for me, I like vegetables. Obviously, everyone has to eat vegetables, but there's some certain vegetables that I don't like. Like I personally am not a fan of coleslaw. A lot of people don't consider that a vegetable. I do. And I don't know if I would like it. And I hate pickles. I hate pickles so much.
Wow, you're very passionate about that.
I really do not like pickles. Like whenever I go to McDonald's, if I ever go to McDonald's, I will literally say, if you put a pickle on my burger, I will ask for a bigger burger or a refund.
Yeah.
And they laugh at me every single time.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't like warm pickles. So if I've got like pickle spears with the burger on the side that are cold, I love that. That's fine.
Anything else you wanted to say? I know they have Coke Freestyle, but it's not the Coke Freestyle that we know and love from Universal.
That I don't know. I just saw the soda counter that you could just walk up and just refill your mug.
Yeah, Banks told me. I think it was Banks. It was either Banks or Jenny Lynn, one of the two. But they said it's kind of like Coke Freestyle, but kind of what McDonald's is trying to roll out now, with they have a certain amount of flavors that you can add into the drink.
Yeah.
But like you can't get like orange Sprite or orange Mellow Yellow. Like orange is apparently not one of the flavors. I'm like, you're in Florida. Why wouldn't orange be one of the freaking flavors?
Right.
Apparently, from what I've heard, the flavors that you can get are vanilla, cherry, and lime. Which I'm like, why would you add lime to a Sprite when it's already lemon lime? Makes no sense.
Yeah.
But I'm just, what I want to see is, even though I would hate to see it, I want Disney to, I guess, purchase Coke Freestyle machines and put them around the parks. But I also want Universal to have Pepsi. I personally would rather Universal have Pepsi. I know Coke's better, but like Pepsi's got some good drinks. They really do. And I think if we get something along the lines of a Pepsi Freestyle, then you have Coke Freestyle at Disney and you have Pepsi Freestyle at Universal. You have your bases covered.
Right.
And then people just pick and choose. Like, yeah, if you're at Disney, you're forced to drink Coke products. But like now, I don't know what SeaWorld has. I think SeaWorld has Coke as well. I don't think they have Pepsi.
Trying to remember. I've only been there once. Yeah, I don't remember.
I haven't been to SeaWorld since 2000.
Oh.
It's not because of Blackfish. It's just because tickets are too expensive for military.
Right.
It's like they give you like a $10 off coupon.
Oh wow! Thanks, SeaWorld.
Yeah, but hey, something that you might not know: Disney does 4-day park hoppers for military for $209.
I did know that. Yeah, I'm actually a cast member too. So
oh wow, did not know that.
Law pricing, yeah. So yeah, no, they Disney takes care of the armed service. That's for sure.
And with Shades of Green on property, I didn't know about it until my sister told us that she wanted to get married at Disney, and my dad's like, "What about Shades of Green?" I'm like, "I know everything about Disney. What is this Shades of Green you talk about?" And we stayed there, and it's actually not too bad.
Huh.
It's a really nice hotel slash like venue.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't been over there yet. I need to because I filmed the resorts as well for my vlog, and I haven't filmed that one yet, but I will at some point.
Can you get in without a military ID?
See that I also don't know. Probably if you have a friend that you're visiting, you can, but I don't know.
Well, if you need in, let me know.
Oh, thank you.
No problem, because I need to go there for my videos too.
Yeah.
All right, now let's get into the semi-main event of talking about Pandora. Let's talk about Navi River Journey. And
Okay.
before we talk about the ride itself, what do you think of the queue?
The queue was cool. It was fine. There's just a lot of plant life to look at in the queue, and different look like maybe Navi pots and things like that to see. So it was cool, but there wasn't a whole lot there to look at. But yeah, it was still it wasn't nearly as impressive as Flight of Passage, but they did what they could with the small space.
Yeah. Something that I've heard, next time you go, I don't know if this is true or not. I can't remember who told me this. Look up in the queue because there is a map that highlights people that are inside the ride on the river.
Really?
That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true, obviously, because I don't live there and I don't see it. But I heard that that's a thing.
Huh.
And I'm
All
like,
right.
that's really interesting.
So is it like a live?
Yeah, it's like a live, like probably I would think a blue dot that's just going down the river. And it shows how many boats are, I guess, running.
Interesting. Is that in the outside part of the queue, or is it?
I have no clue. That's something I might have to do some background research with either Banks or Jenny Lynn about that. And
You have no queue whatsoever.
I have no clue. Ah, that's funny. That's a pun.
Yeah.
Oh
Time to time. You know it's a good pun when you can taste how bad it is. That's
yeah.
right. Yep.
So, anything else you have about the queue?
Not really. I'm looking at it right now. I mean, it's cool. There's the lights inside the queue are cool, but it's kind of like you're being covered by a ginormous tree.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing anything on the outside part of the queue when you're inside this hut. I don't. Oh yeah. In fact, there I just pointed the camera up, and I'm not seeing any maps.
Huh.
If you look at the video, it says the week we got a sneak peek of Pandora Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
It's about an hour and 13 minutes in.
Okay.
You can see that queue, but and now I'm on the inside portion, and same thing. I'm not seeing anything up above, but it doesn't mean it's not there. I just don't see it.
Yeah. I'll try and ask around and see if that was just me hearing things or what.
Yeah.
But what did you think of, like, okay, so before we get into the ride once again, is it you are outside doing your queue and then you immediately go in and that's when you load?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the Disneyland California, basically.
The Disneyland California?
Yeah, because everything you don't know. Oh my goodness! Besides Space Mountain, everything in Disneyland in California, I like Disneyland, like the actual Disneyland park. The queue is outside, and then once you get inside, you immediately load.
No, not with everything.
And I would think Space Mountain, Indiana Jones. I don't know about Star Tours because I didn't get to ride it.
Well, definitely not Space Mountain.
Yeah, definitely not Space Mountain because it has those really long corridors, which I hated. We fast passed it and we were like, we're walking forever and ever and ever.
Right.
Literally, I recorded the entire time because at that time I had my GoPro as my vlogging camera, and it was just I was walking and I had 40 minutes of footage that I had to edit. I'm like, I'm just gonna cut until we get to the ride There we go. Everything
Yeah.
else is gone because nothing was like funny was said in that part at all.
But all the pretty much everything in Fantasyland,
Yeah.
you don't get right on once you're inside. In fact, like Alice even boards outside.
Oh yeah.
Trying to think, like Small World boards outside.
Mr. Toad boards inside.
Yeah, that boards inside, and that's probably the closest one to boarding right away. But there's still a switchback or two inside because you pass the Toad statue.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pointless to.
Sorry, I'm not about it. It's just yeah. It's something that I noticed whenever I went. Like you queue outside and then you're just right there.
Yeah.
That's something that my mom pointed out. Whenever we were in line for Mr. Toad, she was like, she looked around the corner and she's like, the ride's right there. Can we just jump the fence? I'm like, no, Mom, we cannot jump the fence. It's not a good thing. So moving on to River Journey, what do you think of the like load unload system for that? Do you think it was fast getting on and off the ride?
Yeah, I mean, again, when I went for the cast member preview, there was a very limited amount of people there, so we were pretty much a walk-on. So that was definitely quick. The boats were, small, as you've said.
Yeah, they are very small, and I'm not worried at all because Disney knows how to do stuff, but like I'm worried of people that are claustrophobic because I heard they literally shove 4 people in a row.
Or 6.
Or 6? Oh boy.
Yeah, we had 3 in ours. It just depends how large you are, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you're, I wouldn't worry about the claustrophobic part unless Small World makes you claustrophobic.
No, it doesn't. And the person that I'm talking about is my mom. She tried doing. Oh, what did she try and do? I can't remember. But she gets claustrophobic pretty easily, and she's like, "There's only one ride I can ride, and that's River Journey." I'm like, I don't want to tell her. I don't want to be like, I don't know if you can ride that. But now that you said that, if Small World makes her claustrophobic, which it doesn't, then she should be fine. She loves pirates, so.
Oh well, she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot higher ceiling in Pirates and Small World, but yeah, you're gonna be fine. And hey, Disney's accommodating, so if you just tell the cast member, "Hey, I have a problem with claustrophobia and I need my own row," I don't think they're gonna worry about it.
Yeah, I think they'll put you and maybe 1 or 2 other people in a row so you guys can space out.
You mean in a boat?
Yeah, no, in a row. Like, let's just say I went with my mom to Pandora and she says that she's claustrophobic. They would just put me and Mom in a row.
Yeah, although, and at the same time too, like as a party of 1, like I am, I'm pretty much always at the parks by myself. If I just say, "Hey, party of 1," they're not going to put someone else in the same row.
Yeah, I noticed that. Universal does that sometimes too. They it was on The Mummy, and I was in the single rider line, and they needed to, I guess, put 1 person in a row, so they put me in a row, and they just let me keep rewriting because there was nobody else in the queue. I don't know why there wasn't anyone else in the queue. That ride's amazing, but they just kept letting. They just said, "Do you want to ride again?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yeah.
I didn't have another person come next to me after 3 rewrites. I'm like, "What time is it?" I looked at my watch. I'm like, "Oh, Superstar Parade was going on. That's why." That parade. Oh.
And I do like now Flight of Passage, so that has a single rider line. So
does it?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Does it go through the queue normally?
That I don't know. I didn't test it.
Oh no.
But there's 2 very distinct. Yeah, it does have a single rider, so that's fun.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to wait 5 hours the first time and then do single rider after.
Right.
we'll get to Flight of Passage and what they're doing in a second. But River Journey, what did you think of the ride?
I thought it was great. I don't get mad at Disney for making it short.
Yeah.
And I'm not being biased because I work for them. I'm just not on that bandwagon. I think it's a nice ride to go relax. And people say, "Oh, there's no story. There's no story." It's not true. The story is you are on a river on Pandora, and that's it. That's the story. You're supposed to experience what Pandora looks and feels like at night. And you're supposed to get a glimpse of the culture of the Na'vi people, and that's exactly what you get. So I thought it was fantastic. We wrote it, 4 or 5 times. And every time, I mean, of course, the Shaman of Songs at the end is the most incredible animatronic ever, except for maybe Flight of Passage. That animatronic, it blows my mind, which we'll get to that. But yeah, I thought it was great. It was short, but I've seen people comment saying, "Oh, well, why can't it be longer? I don't understand." It's like, well, look, they never said it's gonna be longer.
Yeah.
Have to make it longer. It's a ride that fills the space that they had to fill.
Mm-hmm.
So if they could have made it longer, they probably would have. I don't see why they wouldn't. The fact is that you're just in a land. And if they made it much bigger, then you're moving the buses and you're filling up the parking, and they couldn't do that.
Yeah. I feel like from what I've seen through your videos and Tim and Jen and Kyle from View from the Cheap Seats and a bunch of other people, I would say that Na'vi River Journey is the best C-ticket attraction at Disney right now. Because personally, I don't consider, a lot of people, for some weird reason, consider Pirates of the Caribbean a C-ticket. I consider it like a D, maybe an E on some days. I consider it an E-ticket because I love it so much.
Right, yeah, as do I.
But like compared to what other people consider to be C-tickets, it's, I think, the best themed out of all of them. And like it's great for the entire family because there's no height requirement.
Right.
So everyone can do it. The one thing that I have seen that people are complaining about, and it's a legit complaint, is the wheelchair accessibility. Apparently,
I didn't notice that when I went in there. What are they saying about it?
Apparently, and I'll go to Disney's website again for this because I don't know what they have on the website. Apparently, you have to transfer from the wheelchair, which on most boat rides you don't have to transfer.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't say on here about anything with that, but I understand like having to transfer for Flight of Passage, obviously, because you're transferring into like a seat, but for it's basically it's a small world but bioluminescent, and they have to an extent, obviously.
Yeah.
But they have wheelchair accessible boats for pirates. They have ones for It's a Small World. I'm pretty sure they have ones for Frozen. I would be very shocked if they didn't. But
think about the size of those boats compared to the size of Na'vi River Journey.
Exactly. I think that's the thing, is because the boats are so small.
Yeah. And they would, if they made a slot for a differently abled person to go on like that, I don't know that anyone else could ride with them. Yeah.
Maybe one or two other people, but that's pushing it.
Yeah.
Because I know whenever my grandma rode It's a Small World, they bumped out 2 rows and she had the front of the car. She was loving it. Like, if you ever get to see a wheelchair accessible boat for It's a Small World, It's hysterical, and it's not because
Yeah,
of
no, they're
people
fun.
inside of it. It's just because there's a huge space that they put them in for just like hers was a Disney one, obviously, because we rented it, but like she didn't take up more than half the space. So I'm like, you could have added like a row of chairs here,
Yeah.
guys.
Well, no, it's because those boats are actually probably the most comfortable boats to sit on if you do not need a wheelchair because there's so much room for you.
Yeah.
I've seen
I know I'm 6'5", and I told them, hey, can you put my grandma here? And they're like, why? I'm like, so I can stretch my legs out.
it.
I've been cooped up in a car for 12 hours.
Yep.
Because that's whenever we were driving down for my sister's wedding. But moving on from River Journey, do you have any last thoughts about the ride?
I just wish that so many people wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
And definitely, it is not. I've seen multiple videos on it. It is not going to translate well on video. Period.
Yeah.
You need to be there in person, and you need to see it because that's what's the most amazing part of it is to feel it, feel the music, relax, just enjoy your surroundings. That's what I really feel it does. I was impressed with it.
That's
And of course, I think why everyone is so upset that it's so short is because everyone wants it to be longer. Because when you're on it, you enjoy it so much. You wish it would keep going.
I think that's the thing, because everyone wants there to be something after the Shaman of Songs. By the way, I was watching, I think it was your video, and I saw the Shaman of Songs. I'm like, she looks very familiar. And then I watched the movie. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's the chief from the movie. I think it is.
It looks like her, but I don't know if that's the exact same person.
I don't know. That might be a question to tweet Joe Rohde about.
In fact, I don't think it is because Disney's promo videos.
Yeah.
She wasn't being voiced by CCH Pounder, which I think is who voiced
Yeah.
the mother. So yeah, I don't think, but yeah, it does look similar for sure.
It looks very similar. So I'll have to tweet our friend Joe Rohde about that one and ask him. But moving on to the main event of Pandora World of Avatar, Avatar Flight of Passage.
Yay!
Before we get to the pre-show and the ride itself, and of course that beautiful, beautiful animatronic, what did you think of the queue up until the animatronic?
Up until
the animatronic in the tube, the Avatar.
Oh, it's amazing! It's such a story.
Yeah.
You start outside, and there's plenty of switchbacks and winding pathway, so you can just, if you are going to wait outside, you're going to be in the midst of beauty. I mean, there's waterfalls around you, and it's just gorgeous. Then you go in the cave, and there's all these awesome cave paintings on the wall of like the Leonopteryx and the Banshee and things like that. And then it's just so enjoyable. The queue, I could spend a lot more time than we did because there were so many people behind us. I didn't want to just stay there, but I could have probably. But it was so impressive. I mean, Disney World's known for their queues, and they took this one to the next level.
Wow. That, from what I've seen, it looks stellar. Like they did really good with the queue for Frozen Ever After, I think. But I think Flight of Passage's queue trumps everything inside Disney World, except Haunted Mansion, obviously.
Right.
Because Haunted Mansion's the best.
Well, still though, I mean, yeah, the Haunted Mansion's cool because it has that story. You've got the murder mystery and things like that.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know. This was definitely amazing because you can see the progression because you start outside, then you're in the cave, and then I think you're in. Are you in the glowy bits at that point?
I think you're in the glowy part, yeah. And then that's whenever after that you transfer into the RDA facility.
Yeah. And that was cool. Good God.
with that with that animatronic.
It's so amazing. And I rewatched my video just now before we started this, and I just can't figure it out. The only thing I can figure out is that maybe he's attached by his shorts. You know, something right by his shorts. There's something. Or maybe he's just a real stinking avatar.
Possibly, you never know. James Cameron is a very very innovative man. And
Who says Pandora is not a real
with
place?
him and Joe Rody doing this and teaming up on this, I would not be shocked.
Say, and you can quote me on this. NASA has never tweeted saying Pandora is not real. So
It's
I'm
true.
just throwing that out there.
And my first thought whenever I saw it, I'm like, that has to be real. Like there's no way. And then I looked at it a little closer. Like I zoomed in on a video, and I was like, I can't find anything. I know that's like you can't really find anything because the quality gets distorted once you zoom in. But then I'm like, okay, so it has to be supported somehow. And the only way I can think of it is that there's a transparent pole that's in his body that we don't see.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, that could. I'm looking at it now as you're talking. I just don't see.
But someone would have found that pole already. I'm like, there's no way. It's something that we don't know yet, and we probably will never know.
I mean, that whole body could be made of some super lightweight, buoyant material that does float.
Oh, didn't even think of. But how does it get him to move then?
Maybe it's not being held up. Maybe it's being held down with something, with his umbilical cord.
Oh,
I don't know. It's cool.
It's very interesting.
Part of me doesn't even want to figure it out. Like I just enjoy it so much. I'm like,
yeah,
you know what? It's real.
I have come to the conclusion whenever I see it, I'm going to spend that first time taking as many pictures as possible to try and figure it out. And if I don't figure it out from then I'm just going to say it's real.
Yep.
That's how it's going to go.
It's cool. It's really cool.
Now let's move on to that first pre-show where they have you step on your number and they're doing that whole decontamination thing.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's a great show. Was that out loud? I meant to hit mute. Oops.
I feel like not a lot of people are liking the pre-show, but they love the ride.
Yeah. The pre-show was long, and I get the fact that it's long. It needs to be, because right after the pre-show you board and there's people ahead of you. So I am a film actor.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan of who they chose. I've never seen him before. I don't know what he's from, what he's done. I don't like him. I think they could have found someone much better.
I don't know why they didn't get the guy from the original movie.
Because that guy from the original movie is probably 80 at the point this story takes place.
That's very true. But Disney's been known to be able to like age people's bodies. Tarkin from Rogue One.
Sure.
So you never know.
Yeah, no, that's true. But yeah, he would have been great. Any of the guys from Big Bang Theory would have been awesome.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, I can think of a dozen people easily.
That would be better than him.
I would have been awesome. I mean, there's just a lot.
I feel like his presence was just like, yeah, I'm here. Disney's paying me. Hi guys, this is fun. Let's decontaminate you guys now. Okay, let's move you on to the person that's supposed to be Sigourney Weaver now.
Right. I just wasn't impressed with that part, but it's something I can get over, you know.
Yeah.
We got smartphones. I'll just look at the smartphone when I'm in the pre-show part.
Exactly. I will probably record it the first time, and then after that, just stand there and just not worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's what I do with the pre-show for Escape from Green Gods now. Like whenever I'm in the elevator, I just stand there. I used to look up, but like I'm just like, it's okay.
Well, if you just single rider it, you can skip the elevator.
I do single rider it a lot.
I
But
went
there's
the other day and I literally got to the top of the stairs for the single rider, and she just said, she looked at me and she's like, row 5. Like, no waiting whatsoever. Literally just kept walking. It was pretty cool.
I love sitting in the back rows on Green Gots.
Yeah.
Row 6 is best, but if I can get row 5, I'm content because of in that last room, whenever they shoot you off, if you look at the screen instead of looking forward, well, you can look forward, but if you look at the screen does like this weird close thing, and it's so weird.
Huh.
It's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, be sure to look at that next time. It's very interesting.
Okay.
But back to Flight of Passage. Let's get away from that nasty pre-show. What did you think of the load and unload system of it? Like putting your bags into that compartment and then getting into the motorcycle type harness.
It was fine. That didn't bother me at all. Like, I've heard people say that it bothered them because they could turn around and still see their bags there. But I mean, if you're going to turn around when you have that beautiful screen to look at, I mean, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
The fact that it's there doesn't bother me because you're supposed to be linked and sitting there.
Yeah.
So it's not like they claim to say you're leaving that room.
Yeah. They don't say you're leaving. You're still there. You're just supposed to be so entranced in this whole thing that you're not supposed to look back.
Right. Now, I mean, your avatar is flying on the Banshee, but you, just like Jake Sully, would be in that room, you know.
But, in a little container, but they can't physically put you into one of those container things.
Exactly. It's the same type of thing where it's like, look, there's only so much they can really do. So you're either going to forgive the stuff because you have to, or you're going to be so nitpicky over it for some reason. I don't know why people feel they have to be, but yeah, to me, it didn't bother me at all. It's like, great, set my stuff down. All right. The instant I straddled that ride, I was like, sweet, I'm in this.
Was this is something I've asked Banks, I asked Jalen, were the restraints comfortable?
Perfectly. Yeah.
Perfectly good.
I had zero problem with it. I'm a big dude. I'm 6'2", 280. I've heard of people not fitting in them for some reason. They must be definitely bigger than me, but I had wiggle room both in my legs and on the clamp on my back.
Okay.
I could literally like wiggle and feel space back there. So I had no problem whatsoever.
I'm a lot less scared now. For me, it's the height that worries me about rides. Like because I live in Kentucky, there's a ride at the theme park up here that I cannot ride because I'm too tall. And that
you're not going to have a problem.
Yeah, I don't. Banks was like, Travis, you're not going to have a problem. You're fine. I'm like, okay.
It's literally like saying I'm worried about riding on Soarin' because I'm too tall.
I am worried about riding on Soarin' because I'm too tall.
Are you?
Yeah. I always request to be either the first row that's all the way at the top or the middle row. If they put me in the back, I say I don't want to.
But it's the same amount of space, whether you're on the first row or the third.
Oh, I know, but my brain doesn't think that sometimes.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. No, but this is even more so. Like man, you can just look at any video where you can see someone board the ride very briefly, and it's probably, in fact, let me check real quick. Because I caught just a glimpse before I rode, and then I turned off the camera, of course. And I want to say there's like a 10-foot clearance above your head.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're in a big room.
Yeah.
So you got nothing to worry about on the height.
Good. That was the one thing I was worried about with all of the drops and all of that stuff that I've heard about. I was worried about that I would hit my head, but I guess I won't now.
No.
And before we move on to our final question, what did you think of the actual physical ride portion of it?
Mind numbing.
mind-numbing. In a
Yeah.
good way or a bad way?
Oh, a great way. It was. I literally at one point, and no one heard me because I think they were all in it. But you know how in the movie Jake Sully like screams, he's like "woo" when he's riding
Yeah.
the Banshee. I literally did that
That's
because
crazy.
I believed it, and it took me about half the ride to do it because I was so at first like and I was looking around seeing the ride vehicle and everything a little, but um, at about halfway through it, I was like, I started hooting and hollering because it was fun, and I believed everything. And Tim at one point leaned over to me. He's like, "You can feel the Banshee breathing. Check out your knees." And I
Yeah.
became conscious of my legs, and yeah, sure enough, you could feel his lungs expanding on your legs. It was just the coolest thing. It was a lot of fun.
I'm glad that they didn't go with the original prototype of it, which I don't know if you saw, but the original prototype, like the first original prototype for it, was supposed to be you were literally on the back of a Banshee, and
Oh,
it would have done the same exact thing. I'm like, yeah, that would have been cool, but I like the theming behind the chair better because they could have been like, you're gonna go into this new pod. I
you there?
promise, it's not. I'm here
Oh, you like the theming of the chair because why?
because of the fact that it's supposed to be like the movie, where
Yeah.
instead of putting you in that, I'd say coffin type thing, but it's not really a coffin, but the coffin type thing, and they shoot you into the thing, and it links. It links in a different way that it progresses the story. Like it makes the technology smaller and more, I guess, cost effective to use. So I'm hoping that whenever James Cameron said you will see things from the Pandora land in the movies, I'm hoping that that's what we see is those link chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's what we see.
Hello?
So final thoughts of Flight of Passage.
I thought it was awesome. Period. I mean, I wish I had more words to say anything else. I mean, it was. I didn't get sick on it even remotely, and Forbidden Journey always makes me sick right at the beginning when you're following Harry and Ron
Yeah.
right before you run into Hagrid. That always makes me sick. This didn't make me sick once, and that could be from the quality of the 3D, the technology, the smoothness of it all. Yeah, it was outstanding. So yeah, I was blown away, 100%. And then the smells, the one thing it was like, I kind of thought there might have been maybe too much water that splashes on you because there
Yeah.
is quite a few times that water splashes on you. I was like, okay, good Lord, what's happening here? But then I realized, oh yeah, you're in Florida, so that's gonna feel great come summertime. You know,
Yeah.
people are gonna be like, yes.
Especially like summertime for Florida is what, April till about October.
No, not that much. The weather up to now, we're just now starting to have some like really hot days.
I know
But
today was a really hot day, or it's supposed to be, because I saw on the Universal app that what is it? Ripsaw Falls is at 90 minutes right now.
oh, really? Yep.
Yeah.
That means it's hot. Yeah, it was. Let's see. The other day I was at Epcot and it was 48% humidity. So, but and that's probably the most humid it's been so far,
Wow.
and at least this year. And then in the summer, of course, it's gonna get like 98% humidity. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I think April is still gorgeous, and October through April is pretty gorgeous. Like October was warm, but it was definitely cooling down over September.
Good to know, because I'm coming in October and I don't want it to be 100 degrees.
Yeah, I mean it'll be hot, but it'll still be very bearable, I think.
Yeah. Now, final question, and this is the question that I've asked Banks and I asked Jenny Lynn. Do you think with the addition of Pandora and Rivers of Light and the nighttime safari and the Tree of Life ceremony thing, do you think that
Sorry, you cut out. Do I think
with all of the nighttime stuff coming to Animal Kingdom, do you think it's going to transition now into that full day park status that we all want it to be?
Well, see, here's where I differ greatly. I think Animal Kingdom is a full day park.
Really?
As it is now. Yep. With the shows, with Expedition Everest, with Dino Land, now with Rivers of Light, with the food options that are there, and just the relaxing atmosphere of it all, and with the walking paths and everything, I think you can definitely spend all day there comfortably. I think if you're an attractions person and you're only about the rides, it's not a full day park. Even with Pandora. So it just depends what you're into. If you're into everything, if you want to see everything that's there, it can absolutely be a full day park. If you want to eat a nice meal for lunch, and then go ride a couple rides, and then see a couple shows, and then have a nice dinner at like Tiffin's or something, and then watch Rivers of Light, I think absolutely it's a full day park.
That makes that it's different for me because I go there and I ride. I'm a ride guy.
Nope.
And I do.
Sorry, I missed all that. It's different for you because
it's different for me because I'm a ride guy. I do Expedition Everest. I do Kilimanjaro. I do Dinosaur, and that's basically I do it tough. It's tough to be a bug, obviously, but with all of those, like this last time that I went, it was the first time that I've ever seen Finding Nemo the musical. I've been going for years.
Oh my gosh, what do you think?
I thought it was amazing.
It's great.
Like whenever I saw the pelican, I was like, "Wow,
Nigel's
okay.
Huge.
You're huge, dude."
Yep.
But that show is great, and I'm definitely gonna see it again when I go in October if I have time. Obviously, with everything with Pandora. Yeah. Pandora is priority in October. That and Horror Nights, obviously.
Right. Well, yeah, no, it's definitely fantastic, and if I've had a lot of family visit me recently, and friends and stuff, and when you start having a family of 4 in a park, and you have bathroom breaks, and you have lunch breaks and snack breaks, it is very, very easy for it to be called a full day park. So it's very, very easy for Tomorrowland to be called a full day park. Because it's hard to ride and do everything. And that's why you need like a week to vacation at Disney World, because you need that time. Yeah. So yeah, I think for sure with Pandora especially, it'll be even more so a full day park.
Well, I'm glad that everyone that I've talked to so far is under that impression, because that makes me happy, because Animal Kingdom has always been my favorite park.
Yep.
It always has. From the time it opened, going to Camp Mini Mickey. I actually opened Camp Mini Mickey one day during the Millennium. There's a picture of me somewhere in my house of me, like, I have a certificate in my hand, or I'm raising the flag or something like that. I can't remember what it was. But knowing that, or whenever Camp Mini Mickey closed, I was like, well, there goes the rest of my childhood.
Right.
But now that I'm seeing what it made way for with Pandora, I'm not too sad about it. I'm still sad because of the memories I've had there, but it's I feel like it's a good change. I feel like with everything happening with Star Wars Land, Toy Story Land, and whatever this rumored Tron coaster is going to go, I feel like it's going to help Disney a lot.
Hopefully it goes in Tomorrowland Speedway.
Here's my we differ on that one. I hope it doesn't go to Tomorrowland.
Maybe not the Tron coaster there, but that's got to go. I hate that.
Tomorrowland Speedway has to go, or at least, well, you can't really theme it to anything like with Disneyland. Disneyland's is iconic. Disneyland's needs to stay. But the Tomorrowland Speedway in Disney World, it needs to go for something. I don't know what it's going to go for. Yeah, I have no clue what
Yeah.
it could go for.
Yeah, anything. I mean, kids definitely love it. It's always a long line, but I think the smell of it now is just terrible. It adds too much to the dirty feeling.
Yeah.
I don't like feeling dirty when I walk by it, and that it makes me feel that way.
If they do decide to keep it, I think what they should do is I think that they should put the electric cars that they did for Disneyland in there.
The what?
They have electric cars now at Disneyland, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they should. If they're going to keep it, they need to do that
yeah,
because it gets rid of the smell. Because whenever you drive past that on the People Mover, I'm always like, ugh.
right. Well, but maybe not even that. They just need to add. They need to retheme it. I don't like the fact the speedway thing of it. Like, Autopia is better because it's more of a relaxing drive through the countryside than this is.
Yeah,
This is just concrete and dirt and nothing to look at really. I don't like it.
I completely agree. I love the attraction. Don't get me wrong. Like, if it's like at a 5 minute wait, which I've never seen at a 5 minute wait in the past 5 years, I'll ride it. But like, it's not on my top rides to ride. Like, I would totally pick like Space Mountain over. That's a bad comparison. I would pick Mad Tea Party over Tomorrowland Speedway, even though I hate Mad Tea Party.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. And Mad Tea Party is 10 times better at Disneyland too.
Oh, 100 times better at Disneyland.
Yep.
I wrote it at Disneyland. I wrote it at Disney World a couple months later, and I wrote it whenever I wrote it at Disneyland. I'm like, I don't feel sick at all. I don't know what it was, but I didn't feel sick.
I'll still feel sick. It's just the fact that there's music playing, and it doesn't have that god awful ka-chunk when the ride's over.
Yeah, that whenever I did that for the first time, I looked at my dad and I was like, "What's happening?
Am I dying?
Am I dying? Am I going down the rabbit hole?"
Yeah, what's happening?
Maybe we can get a Fantasyland expansion. We get Alice in Wonderland, the Alice in Wonderland dark ride.
That'd be awesome.
Oh, I want it so bad. It's so good.
Yeah.
Maybe
# bring back Mr. Toad.
Bring back Mr. Toad. Bring Alice and bring the Matterhorn for the 50th anniversary of Disneyland or Disney World.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
That'd be sweet. I don't think we'll ever get the Matterhorn. It's too unique.
Yeah, there's only one way we'll get the Matterhorn, and I'll tell you that after or in the post chat, because it's an idea I've had for a long time, and I want it to happen in Epcot. But with that being said, I think that's the end of our episode.
Well, awesome. Well, thanks again for having me. It was fun.
No problem. And where can we find you on social media?
So our channel, of course, Fresh Baked and Stuff on YouTube. I'm on Instagram at FreshBakedWDW. My partners in California, David and Sarah, and the rest of the team that cover Disneyland are at Fresh Baked, the letter N, Stuff on Instagram, and then Fresh Baked Disney on Twitter. I'm on Twitter at Laramie Williams, and that's Laramie, Laramie. And of course Facebook, but Instagram and Twitter are the main ones that I use myself.
Yeah, I use Twitter a lot. As you can see, I think it said I have 13,000 tweets now. I'm like, I don't tweet that much.
Yeah.
It's just whenever you look at those, it's like, oh, you really understand how much you tweet.
Right. Well, I'm getting higher now. Like I just started Twitter.
Really?
Just a few months ago, and I'm up to, I got like, what is it, 460 tweets and 648 followers. So
it's really good.
I'm late to the game, so it's growing.
Whenever your followers are higher than your tweets, that's when you know you're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can follow me on Twitter at Travis Coaster, and Instagram and YouTube. Well, not YouTube, but Instagram and Facebook with all the same Travis Coaster handle and all that. And then you can follow the podcast at CoasterCasters on Twitter, Instagram, and then the Facebook fan page. You can find it with using at CoasterCasters. And then I think the poll should be finished by now. I don't know if it is. I doubt it is. It probably has 6 hours left. So go vote for what I should change the URL to for the channel, because I had it, the CoasterCasters podcast, and nobody can find it. So I'm going to change it once again to something if I can. I'm pretty sure I can. So with that being said, thank you all for watching, and we will see you all with the next episode.
Yay. Bye.